All right, back to part 2, email time. The most important part of the Punters Show or Racing Rant that there ever was. It's you guys' shows, your chance to vent and bring up good ideas. Remember what I said a bit in part 1. Anyone out there, keep your eye out for all the black cads. And anyone that knows what it means, tell us. And if you're part of the cad underworld, like, I don't know,
Secret society,
let us know. It might be Christians After Dark, or what could it be?
He does look Christian to me. Is he Christian?
Waller?
Yeah.
He looks like he should be from Utah.
Mormon Utah, or what's that church? Hillsong.
He'd be a Hillsong for sure. Yeah. Hang on, you got to give 10% of the income. No, it wouldn't be him. That wouldn't be him. He's hard and tough. CAD, Mark, what can it mean?
I don't know, but I'm sure we'll get some suggestions.
Keep right.
Now, when we were wondering about, Hong Kong Darren and Mark Sheen, the suggestion came to me on Twitter that AB, as in Andrew Bensley, has found his way to upper management of Tab Sky, and under the guidance of fellow harness crew Peter Volandis and Sam Natty, Sheen out was their call. That's an interesting suggestion.
Well, it's really simple. It happens in every big business in the world, and that is you promote to get them out of the way.
Sam Natty, there's a name I haven't heard of in a long time. Where's he now?
Is he somewhere in Sky?
I don't know. I haven't even heard his name mentioned.
Or didn't he come back to be...
wasn't he a harness man?
Yeah, didn't he come back to be in charge of harness racing in New South Wales? But maybe not. I'm not sure. Didn't he used to work for Warren as well?
Don't know.
I reckon another ex-Woodcock employee. Trust the day, Glenn Pollitt says Cummings will get the sack in the next 12 months by Plumtree. Plumtree resigns.
I am like the Antichrist. There's just no doubt about it. Whenever I say, the opposite happens. Fuck, it's weird.
Did Henry Plumtree really leave over the Strangles inquiry, or because James Cummings changed the feed?
Well, I'd say it's the Strangles inquiry, but it might be changed the feed.
So what difference does that make to what you asserted last week, Glenn, about he's in big trouble, you can't go in there and change the feed?
Well, now he's sweet.
Right.
Plumtree was the man there. He's the guillotine man. He chops their heads off. Now he's not there. If he retired now.
Why don't you guys walk to Lismore as a fundraiser for Richie's return? Get him to join you. Think of all the tracks you could visit.
It's a long walk to Lismore.
Well, Glenn and I need to do some fitness.
Yeah.
Could we time it so that we stop off at race meetings on the way up?
What about the Lismore flight? That is dead set. Under 15 to 1 bid, the first one that the Bombers get through that we investigated this week.
But did you hear what they were using? Supposedly a meat grinder. You know those old metal meat grinders?
Who was?
The coppers.
You know how they got those terrorist guys or whatever?
They got 4 blokes, 2 father and sons. Their all names are fucking Abdul.
Yeah, I know.
I'd just get rid of every Abdul.
They were going to use a meat grinder and they were going to bring it in their carry-on luggage. Now, if you've seen a meat grinder,
it's a
massive block of steel. It's hardly seeming high-tech or dangerous to me.
What are they going to do with it?
Well, I don't know. But that's what the news is announcing right now. So.
Yeah. Right,
it's so weird, honestly. I think you're just better off to just if the odd plane, take the odds to it. I mean, you've got to get there another hour earlier. I'd rather the plane blow up than get there an hour earlier.
All I have to say is the terrorists must be completely retarded.
They're retarded.
Because it'd be so easy to pull off something if you wanted to.
Maybe they want to be caught.
Imagine
you can't be famous if you're never caught.
You've only got to get 4 blokes with guns at Randwick Racecourse at a carnival day. And people go, well, how would they get through security? Well, you bury the guns on the Friday when there's no one there.
What about when you're looking to park under one of the big skyscrapers and there's a security guard there? You just drive by and wave at him. Well, that's all I'd have to do. It's not high tech or anything.
I always get petrified of a truck full of petrol, like a petrol bomb thing, and they just change into 2 lanes at the bottom of the harbour tunnel. Yeah. They escape on the motorbike in front. We all blocked in, and we go boom. We all drown.
Well,
I should be a terrorist.
I
haven't chewed to my real calling.
What if there's so many? Look, what about a suicide boat? Just go and rent a boat, fill it with bloody explosives and petrol, and right into something. It's not tough, guys. Seriously.
Right. So
And then you get to meet 47 virgins.
Yeah,
whatever you want.
No good
All right.
for you, Glenn.
All right. So that's the world.
A couple might be blonde.
Closer to home, Glenn, I believe you were involved in some discussion. The members are voting on what exactly in relation to midweek racing?
Well, they're looking at midweek racing going to Thursday and Friday night, I believe, and a more ridiculous idea I've never heard.
Who's floated this idea?
Well, I heard at the track.
So I believe that lights are going in at Randwick when?
Sir?
And so they want to shift the midweeks
To Thursday
to
and Friday.
Randwick under lights.
Yeah.
It's a track we can't use any at the best of times.
And we're going to lose all the punters, all the Wednesday punters who go to work. They just hate their wife. They can't stand their kids. But on Wednesday, they can lock themselves in the office and get on Betfair and have a few bets. Can they do that on Thursday and Friday night when they go home to Miss Nagsville?
Well, just forget that. It's anti to the culture. You know, the culture. I realise that you get that night racing has worked to a degree, but it's still novelty. It's just you do not shit on your establishment. Like we've had Wednesday and Saturday city racing forever.
I couldn't care less. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Yeah, but
Are you fucking mental?
Yeah,
what are we going to do
mental.
Wednesday afternoons?
Well, I'll be betting somewhere else. I just won't
Somewhere
be at
else?
I won't be at the meeting.
It fixed track work, staffing. The track work's
It's
all
not
lined.
the end of the world, guys. Seriously. I know you're set in your ways.
No,
okay,
but so you'll be in a position to attack Thursday nights as well,
yeah, of course.
because I think that that will not be as available to other people.
Look, whatever ideas they can think to make racing worse, they bring them in. So they changed the race books on Saturday. Did you see the race books?
I'm
Unreadable.
just waiting for you guys to give me like
A good reason.
a good reason. Yeah, you're talking about history
No,
and this is
because
the way we're used to.
because it's an afternoon that's set aside for a decent standard of racing, and if they take that standard of racing somewhere
Thursday
else,
night I watch Housewives
where-
in New York, you fucking idiot.
you've got you might miss Australian Ninja. Sorry, whatever it's called.
Ninja Turtle. Yeah, come on, Marcus, sorry. I like the Housewives show on Thursday night.
So,
that's all right. Gord's just saying they'll replace that with a lower standard of racing, which is fine as far as he's
So
concerned.
Wednesday will be
because-
Gosford and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Another creepy bloke in the park. What's going on with this park?
there's
here,
lots
mate?
of creepy people around
Lot of
here. And
creepy
what about
blokes.
that house? It's more like a tent.
I don't know what the story is with it.
And how did they get permission? They wouldn't let you
That's
put
an
another
eyesore.
story on.
Anyway.
And they
Yeah.
built a fucking giant igloo.
All right. Look, Winning Punter tweeted there's a show where a trader on the London stock market has decided to find 7 numpties, walk off the street, and he's going to let them play with $1 million of his money, and he's going to teach them how to trade on the markets. And it's a show. It's a TV show, reality show.
It's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
What's the worst? Well, 4 of them at worst are going to lose 5%. You're only going to do 50. The other 3 might win 30%.
Yeah, and hey, look,
Cost you 20,000 to crank a show.
he obviously he's got
bullshit anyway.
put his ego, but he's put his ego on the line, so he obviously needs them to win. And Winning Punter suggested it would work great for a punting series. Get one of the big characters or well-known characters to be the coach. Imagine, grabbing people from outside racing and saying, I've made it big in racing by betting. I want to see if you can, as well, turn it into a show. And suddenly you've got people from outside racing watching
Nufties
and learning
win.
about betting on
It's
racing.
a damn fucking shame that it probably would work. Because I can't stand this reality TV bullshit culture we live in.
Jeez, you swear a lot good.
Oh,
Yeah, me swear.
seriously, I just hate this new reality TV rubbish, which is all just puff and bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know the thing is, it'd work.
Yeah.
Mind you, I did record Survivor last night. Thanks for reminding me.
Is that the perv on the cheeks, or because you enjoy the show?
It's an enormous show.
Yeah, but Winning Punter goes on to say that's the way you get mass appeal as well as
Yes.
punters' enjoyment. Because if it was just in-house, you'd only get the people that were
Yeah.
already engaged by that game watching. Whereas once you drag, people from outside that environment, you create mass appeal.
You're totally right.
Everyone was very upset with the Bring Richie Back campaign. Even fake Richie himself said, Richie is a knowledgeable racing man and the game needs him back. Was the Glenster on the pipe prior to the filming of this?
Well, why can't we bring him back? Why is there such outrage?
Well, it's a bit like there will always be a section of the racing community that never forgives Horry.
Okay.
Right, so he defrauded the racing public. It's unforgivable forever.
Forever?
Forever.
What, life?
Life.
Did Liam Pryor get life, or was he
Life
back? He's stable head then, isn't he? He's sweet.
Very interesting question, isn't it?
Well, he's sweet.
Well,
I'm glad he's back.
Damien Oliver.
D. Oliver. Blake Shin and P. Rover, they came
Why do
back.
they forgive some and not others?
That's what I can't work out. I just
Yeah.
think he's done plenty of time. And look, if we had stacks of blokes that just as good as him, I wouldn't even think of him. But we haven't.
he is actually back, isn't he? Like, he's in Just Racing. You know, he's interviewing Paul Snowden last week about their runners on the weekend.
Okay, so he's back in his little format of, you know, the internet.
Look, I think
But doesn't he have more mass appeal than that?
we're throwing anybody out there who's half decent to get back involved just because of the low standard that currently exists. So anybody that was half decent, we want back giving their opinions, because at the moment Sky Channel is an absolute disgrace.
Well, let's say our audience, or a large section of our audience, or a very vocal section of our audience, was very unhappy about this idea. David Diamond said, Mark, you better take some medication to the track tomorrow, not for the Glenster, but the other punters at the track, because they were likely to be foaming at the mouth.
I reckon Snowy's just made a few phone calls.
You know, very offside.
Well,
he's got
Snowy
it.
tweeted, what a debacle. Turns out Mrs. Anglin was right about him all along.
That's good.
Oh, that's so funny. Good on you, Snowy. Good on you, Mrs. Anglin. Hope you're out there enjoying your credit card today.
Oh, and I did enjoy seeing the party that was Gary Clark's stand on Saturday, wasn't it? It was like a party.
It was a festival.
It was, wasn't it? There was
Mr.
food
and Mrs.
gamblers and yeah. And I finally met Mrs. Snow, and I was scared, of course, because you know you guys have been telling me that she was on par with my sister, who is a very scary human being.
Yeah.
And so I walked sort of over and tried not to make eye contact. You know, you don't want to prompt the whatever might happen.
Say g'day.
Well, no, so I was a little bit scared. So Glennis
Sally.
said, scary, because you told me she was scary.
Scary
She's
Sal.
dynamic.
Scary
Yeah.
Sal.
Oh, she's scary, I suppose.
Yeah, no,
I
and
said
then I had no choice because Glennis, her mum, introduced me to Sally, and yeah, it wasn't as scary as I thought, but I was scared.
I only said one thing to Sal. I said, Sal, I think I'm losing. I think I'm going mad. She just looked at me and said, you're just working that out now?
Yeah, exactly.
Scary Sal.
Yeah. Set it straight.
Yeah, well, I had, Glenn Harvey said, Big Rich should be free. Eon Sports has collapsed. # needs a winner badly. Eon Sports is attached to G1X. Eon Sports was that radio station that Dal found for us on the Punters Show. It's gone under.
Whatever happened to our radio show, Top Better?
So that's and Richie is part of G1X. I don't know if
I
he
used
was
to like that
financially part
radio
of
show.
G1X.
Was it Matt Taylor that did it? Or
It was Brent Zarafa.
Brent Zarafa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Oh, speaking of new shows out there.
What about this one from Richie Callender? Richie, like the wrong Richie, defended the Glenster through a lot over the journey, but this one is indefensible. # line crossed. Oh, they're really dirty on Richie, aren't they?
Yeah. So whereas Mr. Danny, he came out in support. He said, on Richard Callender, I could not agree with you anymore, as in more. Some people get off less for murder. Richard's outspoken, backs his opinion. He does a lot of great charity work that seems to have been forgotten about. The industry needs these characters. Well said, guys. Trouble is the people that run racing don't or won't listen.
Well, the most indefensible thing about it is, why are people dirty?
Well,
Just tell me why.
but because
Right, why? The main reason.
because he committed fraud.
Okay, right. So to all of you out there, what, none of you have committed fraud? Like, really? You've
Well,
all
it's just the people in the glass houses business.
You've all paid the right amount of tax every year, have you?
Yep.
Really? You've never stolen 1 cent. You've never done one wrong thing. You know, like what's he done? Has he done something that bad? I mean, bar murder or rape or touching children, everything's pretty forgivable. Like, you know, he's done his time. Like, for fuck's sake.
Well, Barossa Boy wrote, another failed business venture that Richard Keller is involved in is the Eon Sports Radio. But it's good you guys want him to be the face of racing media. He's had a good 5 years. TVN failed, G1X failed, horse racing syndications failed and stole money off racing owners. But he is, quote, entertaining and knowledgeable.
I didn't realise how entertaining he was till what we got left with.
Yeah. That's a great look for the sport. Difficult to understand you guys sometimes. I love the show, but most fans want to lick your balls each week because it makes them feel warm and fuzzy. And they're paying you. These are the same folk that make you guys sick in the game.
So what's he saying there, Brossel?
Yeah, I don't even get it.
I don't get that. What does he mean?
And they're paying you.
Who's paying us? I wish I get some pay.
Oh, can you tell us if you know Brossel Boy? Because
All right, finally,
I'm clearing about $280 a week.
It's
not bad.
The last one on this subject is
Plus $2,200 before Mrs. Anglin got involved, but that's a whole other story.
Hi guys, love the show. However, I could not believe the garbage spat out when you guys started the Bring Back Richie calendar campaign.
Fuck, people are filthy.
I'm not against confident and well-informed personalities being involved with horse racing. In fact, such personalities complement the sport well. The fact remains that sporting media identities are information brokers and need credibility, and Richie has none of this.
Why? Because of one mistake.
It appeared to many that his Waller friendship was a conflict of interest, and that was confirmed to be so. Imagine if you were one of the owners that Calendar fleeced. Glenn, you're still dirty on Glenn's wife.
What's that about? I don't even never mentioned Glenn's wife.
So, Ty's wife.
Ty's wife. How dirty would you be on Richie if he stole this cash from you? I'd know you'd champion the underdog, and that is appreciated by many of your followers, but this support is poorly placed. Smarten up, lads. You guys are better than this. Nothing like a bit of shaming, is there?
Oh, this is fucking outrageous.
I've had blokes.
Who's this from?
That's from Ian.
That's from Ian. Oh, well, thanks for that email, Ian. And yeah, I'm sure you've never stolen a cent in your entire life.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I've had blokes that have stole money off me because they were in a bad spot or whatever, and just get over it. It's not the end of the world.
Of a duck's back. One of my best friends is Dallas. I really like Dallas, and I miss him, and I quite love him, and he fucking just stuck it straight in us. But you've got to think, not a bad effort.
He's done a good job, hasn't he? Yeah, you've got to appreciate that.
Actually, very impressive.
It is. It's very impressive.
We only asked for your accounts for 6 years, and really, whose fault is it? Us? Our fault or his? It's our fault.
Well, I know who your wives think.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's been made clear that we're fucking idiots.
But I still really quite like Dallas, don't you?
Sure.
He's likeable.
Oh, he's passionate.
And he goes, he fucking tries.
Yeah.
Inside info, sorry guys, we'll never get Richie back, but you must be happy with Freddie Flintoff joining Sky Racing.
That's got to be a G up.
What's that story?
Freddie Flintoff, after his stretch on Ninja Turtle, cannot. if he fucking joins Sky Racing, I'm joining
that show, did he?
He was doing Ninja Turtle. Oh, you did pretty good. When you fell off the rope, did you hit the water? Yeah. Oh, well, I bet you got wet.
Oh.
Yeah. He was terrible.
Is Lipton Iced Tea one of the major sponsors of American Ninja or
Australian
is that
Ninja? Why? Yeah, he's the Lipton Iced Tea man.
Yeah.
He said, when you were in the air and you fell, you know,
why has he got a Kiwi accent?
That's my fucking Freddie Flintoff. He was unwatchable. And then the other bloke from Ben Fordham, he was unwatchable. And the Sheila was terrible. And yet it was a great show. So you had 3 people who couldn't run it, but the whole idea, we all think we're a bit of a Ninja Turtle deep down. See me on the monkey bars there, I just fell 1 foot.
To see, the show has inspired Glenn. He was on the kids' monkey bars.
And I was 1 foot in the air, and I jumped off, and I went, oh, me back! And I'm going on Ninja Turtle next year. I hope they got an over 50s one. That's our chance.
That's fantastic. Jason, he emailed, it was funny after talk of poker coverage / racing that there's a poker tournament on at one of the race courses. I don't know which one this is. Not sure if this is on a race day, but it just seemed ironic after the Walter Snow episode. So if anyone knows about this poker tournament
I think it is at Randwick. I think they have a poker tournament annually at Randwick, not on race days.
Right.
So they just use it as the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a poker tournament for venue. Pretty sure.
A televised poker tournament or just a...
I don't think so. I don't think they're ever televised, are they?
Poker tournaments?
In Australia. If they're at the casino, they're poker.
They do the ones in Melbourne.
One in
While he said, re Macca's email about the Gold Coast Stadium, #drainage, the Gold Coast is a reclaimed swamp. hence water disappearing so quickly. Right. Someone, John Mullins replied, some would argue Randwick is a swamp also that doesn't drain, needs a dig up. FFS.
What does that make, for fuck's sake?
Yeah. Big hello to A King on Twitter.
I think it's A King's thing. Good man, A King.
Well, he started the for fuck's sake. While G replied back, didn't putting the tunnel underneath completely alter the profile of Randwick? And then the reply to that was, I've got no idea. They didn't put a tunnel under the whole joint or the Kensington twice.
That's funny.
Nathan Crawford tweeted, glad I'm not the only one who thought Dynamic Odds are kidding themselves charging punters and bookmakers. Well, aren't they just doing their best? You know, they've got a thing that punters will pay for. They've got a thing that they can charge bookies for. But he also said paying customers should be able to see all odds, including centre-back and Ladbrokes. I reckon
I agree with that.
That's right. But
probably spit missile thing.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. That Dynamic Odds should be providing the information, even if you can't bet through that information.
Oh, definitely. I've had to show a couple of people out there to go on to the one that works nowhere near as well, which is punters.com, so that you can actually track your because it's so important to bet with Centrebet these days. So
it's intensely annoying Centrebet not being on Dynamic Odds. Chris Camilleri, he's from Ratings to Win at Chris Bet Smart. He responded to our winks on, winks off, Waller on, Waller off query. He said preparation, when Winks was running the Waller stable train 17 from 79, when a runner was top 2 in the market.
Wow.
And but that's probably okay. That's just in line with
That's 14%. Doesn't he run better at 14%? 13%? He runs better than that.
No, it's more than that, isn't it? 17 from 79.
Oh, sorry, my apologies. Of course
it's like 18%.
Yeah, no, it's a lot longer. It's not bad. It's 28%. You're right. I'm fucking idiot.
And
they halved it instead of double. Yeah.
We need to know how that compares to when she's not there. Wednesday, it's official. Imanui's a dead set bookie pin-up horse. #cat. Gordo, where are we going with Imanui?
Well,
what stable, boys?
Yeah.
What stable?
Yeah. What stable?
Keep feeding them, keep shampooing them, forget to work them.
What am I going to do with it?
Racing style as well.
It's a horse with ability that if I owned it would be leaving the stable and
I'll be backing it
and having a different jockey.
Wow, it's got cold all of a sudden, guys. I'm shivering. Yeah, we're doing it for the big pay. What's that bloke said? We're getting paid by something?
Yeah. Look, Glenn, in response to your Brett Kenny story on Friday,
yes,
good man George Finder, he replied, Ray Price is driving a bus on the Gold Coast.
What a beauty. What an amazing man. Because I told you bus drivers get 8,000 a week. First year of the show. They get fortunes.
And I want to know, is there an occupation, a full-time occupation out there that earns less than 150,000 a year?
No.
I told you, he's got a complete warped sense of reality.
I'm telling you, everyone gets 3,000 a week. They have to live in Sydney. 3,000 a week wouldn't support me in Sydney.
No.
And I'm just like nobody.
We also raised the question last week about the Betfair betting simulator, and apparently it does exist. Firstly, Ian Devitt said he thought there was no practice mode, but the Geeks Toy, Bet Angel, and Racing Traders all have practice mode. Great for beginners.
All right.
And then what was his name? Bart, or he wrote in saying the Betfair betting simulator can be found, and he sent through the address, which I clicked through to, and there is a test your exchange skills on the Betfair website. Mm-hmm. So you can actually use the exchange betting simulator on Betfair. So it's good to know.
Okay. We're going to keep reading all those emails out. There's still more to go, isn't there? We're going to keep
There's
going.
There's a hell of a lot.
Longest show in the world.
But it is the longest show in the world. Where are we going to? Michael Walker said, absolutely spot on with that Alex Donnelly's girlfriend letter. Glenn says to get rid of the girlfriend, at least 97% of women would agree with his ex-girlfriend. I had an ex also just like that.
Get rid of them. There's a billion Sheilas out there. Just get rid of them. The minute they open their mouth, see ya.
Aaron Wilcox
depends in what circumstance.
Yeah, it happened to be. 3 foot down from eye level. They can hang around.
All right, you got
in trouble for saying that.
you got a bit of competition here, Glenn. Aaron Wilcox enjoyed the show. Glenn's suggesting he doesn't know what to identify with a horse looking tired. Well, he was messing with us, because didn't you say did it bring a doona? Tim Williams said, Gordo suppressing laughter. There's a book in this. More Glenster gold. Anyway, Aaron said, I suppose it's those idiosyncrasies of individual horses with mannerisms and behaviours. The way a horse is carrying itself, there's signs of hoof pawing and head rocking, can portray frustration, boredom or understimulation. You got anything to say about those?
I think he's wrong.
A horse's fluency in their gait, length of stride and the way they're carrying themselves can display signs of tired horses. Maybe they're not as bright in the eye, switched on, focused and alert as previous PB or performs or lead-up runs. How a strapper leads them.
How a strapper leads them's got something to do with it. There's some really good strappers and some terrible ones.
Okay, hi guys.
They are, Indians only working for about $85 an hour. They get $4,000 a week, but get some really unprofessional.
Well, that's only because Pete's looking after them.
Pardon?
Pete Volandy, strappers.
Strappers,
the strappers, the participants.
They love it. You gotta love the participants.
And we're participants. Hi guys, keen to join you guys for the Lismore Cup on September 21. 2 or 3 of us from the Bribie Island area north of Brisbane will be interested in attending the Cup for a bet and to learn a little more from your experience. Not sure if you've thought about the time there, but would be really interested in some sort of punter education if it would fit in.
Freezing.
Perhaps a couple of 30 to 60 minute sessions. How are you thinking about this, Glenn?
Oh, shut up.
Glenn could tell us what he looks for in the mounting yard, and Marco Gordo could outline betting strategies or staking plans.
I'll have a drink with you then.
And just an idea, but if you guys are there to bet and having a relaxing time, that works as well. Cheers,
I'm looking
Peter.
forward to having a beer with you, Peter, talking and tipping your winner. I don't know if I'll be giving any 60-minute betting sessions or.
Oh well, it'll be nothing official or anything like that.
Yeah,
it'll
just be hang with us for the day.
Yeah, and you'll
hang with us for the day.
You know what? How much did you learn just from hanging with people at the races?
Yeah,
like you guys. That's how you started, wasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's the whole point, and that's why a vibrant on-track community is important, because as much as you can learn from online communication, actually, in the flesh conversation is
you get more out of it.
Is deeper.
I remember being 19 and working for a bookie. He's dead now, so it doesn't matter. And my job was to run off course at Canterbury and ring Mr. George Freeman up, who I didn't even know he was. And he used to speak to me like this. He'd go, "Now, son, write these fucking numbers down and don't fucking tell anybody." "Yes, Mr. Freeman." I do that 6 times a day. for old George Cooper. You got to go out and you got to ring this person. He's a very important man. His name is Mr. Freeman. Be very nice to him, Glenn. "Oh, I don't give a fuck who he is." "Who's he?" "I'm Glenn Pollitt." And he go, "Now, son, write these fucking numbers down right." That's how he's taught to me. It was the best. That's why I always learned to keep my mouth shut. That's one person I learned off.
I heard he was a very nice man. I'm surprised he talked like that.
He was trying to get me to write the numbers down right. It's very funny.
Because he got shot, didn't he?
No, he died of natural causes. He got ill. Oh, he got shot. That didn't kill him.
No, because I know the person that
shot him,
that had to look after him when he was shot.
Right.
And
she
said, and then she said, "Oh, should I call the police?" And he says, "No, don't call the police." Something like that.
Anyway, I used to have a weekly conversation for about 18 months. It was never really a conversation. Just write these fucking numbers down right. Well, out the Canterbury on the corner outside the 7-Eleven type shop.
Yeah, which is now a cafe.
Yeah, Mr. The bloke I worked for said I had to bring $10.20 coins all day to make sure I had enough money for the phone. And then I worked so hard to get the $10 back out of the bag off him. Fuck, it was torn. Jeez, he was a tight bastard.
You wouldn't have been able to get the $10 back.
He was a tight bastard.
Tell us about the envelopes at the end of the day.
The best story of all time was he used to pay me $53 a meeting. Most blokes got 100, 120. He paid me 53. Get an envelope before the first, which is just like, "Oh, here's your pay." It's the best story of all time. And I really appreciate how much I learned off him and working for him and learning how to bet and blah, blah, blah. It was the worst pay. But I'll never forget when they were called off after race 4 one day at Rose Hill, and on the Saturday I got $26.50.
Oh,
It's fucking really. I only had 2 children to feed. I was like 19 with 2 kids, and fucking $26.50. I went, "Oh yes," but then I didn't realise about 15 years later, I was in a bar and a bloke walked in who's clerked, and there was it was 4 of us. I was on the ground, and he was saying to me, "What about how much we used to rob?" thing, and he never knew we put the bet in. We all whacked it up, and I went, "No." He went, "Oh, that's right, we left you out." He said, "We used to work for $53. We always got like 500 a meeting."
Yeah.
And I'm going, "No." Fucking missed out again in life.
Well, that just shows you, but pay peanuts and people will rob you.
Exactly, but I stayed there because I learned.
Yeah.
I learned how to crush,
you needed
how
the
to take
education.
top odds. I needed the education, how to work in a race course, how to take top odds, how to ring off and speak to Mr. Freeman and be very nice to him.
But you weren't aware of the pay cut you were taking, were you?
No, because
Because you came from another bookie.
I got my first job off Harry Barrett. He was the best player in course. It was like 1981. It was 120.
No way.
I'm telling you, it was 120. If it wasn't 120, it was definitely a spot. It was definitely 100. And I remember thinking, I went and saw Larry Loverick. I said, "Well, fucking Harry only employs me Saturday. There must be blokes who want me Wednesday." He said, "There's a bloke, job's come up Wednesday with a bloke called old George Cooper. But if you're going to go with him Wednesday, he wants you Wednesday, Saturday." So I told my young wife at the time, I said, "I've lined up another job, but I get the Wednesday." And we just thought everyone gets 100 or 120. And then I came home and the first day was, yeah, I'm working both days. I get 106 now. And she just looked at me and went, "You're a fucking idiot." I said, "I know what you mean, darling, but I'm going to learn something off old George, and I'm going to learn nothing off Harry."
Yeah.
And I learned nothing off Harry. And I learned everything about a race course off old George, so it was worth it. But that first day I opened up the pay pack, it was 53. Man, that was tough going.
Boys, do you know if there's any plan or timeline to increase the minimum bet limit in the future? Oh, I think...
To increase it? Well, Queensland brought it from 5,000 down to 500. Just be happy where it is.
Do you think the regulatory body, considering they take turnover tax, really have a grasp on the dollar value of the bets that are being declined because punters can't get on?
They have no idea about anything.
It surely has to be costing the industry a lot of money, and I'm not convinced they realise the extent. As Gord mentioned, there are obviously angles that can be worked to get on at times, which is, in realistic terms, foreseeable for a small pool of people who have the time and resources to use those options. But there are a large pool of people who fit in form, replays, etc. at nights or any minute available during the day after using whatever time they left after their first jobs are finished. It's not easy. You just want to get a bet on. I find it incredulous, the situation we found ourselves in, and although it's better than it was before the latest minimum bet law, I'm not sure that what the landscape will look like in 10 years. Maybe the answer is to give up the first job. P.S. I love to see Mark Sheen on the RANT show in the next few weeks. By far the best caller I've heard. No better judge of how a horse is travelling in the run, ever. Bring back Mark.
And you know what? I'd have a chat to him out at the races. He's got some fantastic information with his form
That's right.
analysis
So
as well.
another reason
He's
to get
a
out.
really good form analyst.
Another reason to get out to the track. You actually get access to these people.
Yeah.
Track's the best place to live.
As far as upping the minimum bets, I don't think we're much of a chance there, are we? You're right, it's an absolute nightmare, and you've got to jump through all these hoops, and it's not just about doing the form and finding the right horses anymore. It's about all these other shitty little games you've got to play. And you can't do it unless you're full-time.
Yeah, but I mean, look, we had Richie on, and he's...
Oh man, I'm really cold now. You cold, you guys?
You're like shivering.
I'm passing out in a minute.
I'm actually starting to think that...
I could be dying. Yes.
Well,
Don't call an ambulance.
quick, get the rope. We'll miss our opportunity.
All right, I might hold a couple of emails over for next time.
It's been a pretty good rant, guys.
But I just want to tidy up with this more on the corporates. The NOP is even worse than you said on the rant. It's only for the remaining 25 minutes of betting on a Saturday and 20 minutes of betting on a Wednesday. Did you know this?
Yes, I knew that.
As well, the sixth best price has to remain there for a minimum of 40 seconds, which is a bloody long time. Corporate bookmakers are not stupid. They just do their best to avoid getting the sixth best price for 40 seconds or longer. Maybe that's why I see those prices go in and out. Don't forget, SP is now the sixth best price for a minimum of 40 seconds, so that the price can now be a world away from a price that no one even wants. I'm not good enough a punter to bet fixed odds, so I prefer top fluctuation. I used to turn over heaps, but I had to stop when NOP came in, or I would have gone broke in no time at all. It's just grossly unfair. I want to know who came up with the NOP rules, because they extremely favour corporate bookmakers. Thanks, Pete. Well, I mean, I know that this has got divided opinion.
Yeah.
a good clerk on Wednesday came up to me and said, look, I'm always having to bet one of our punters a roll over the best price, be it in the ring or the NOP, and it's consistently the NOP I'm having to bet over. So we'll have to watch this space. Finally, Melbourne got called off halfway through the meeting because of higher winds on Saturday, and those hardy Melbourne Mounting Yard people will be given a complimentary set this Saturday on account of that. You got anything to say about it other than you want to piss off?
Yeah, no, it's good. I like seeing people get stuff for free, especially on this show. That's the best thing about our side is.
And guys, if you bet in the country or whatever, check out John Wilder's site, Racing Watch. I've been checking it out for about the last month. His information is really good, so if you get a chance, check it out.
He's the free advertisements now.
He's the highway.
Well, I think it's good information, so I'll let the viewers know about it.
This is a resource. Yeah. This is where we point people to good stuff.
Fair enough. All right, well...
and get nothing out of it, as usual.
Well, we used to. The guys will be back at the RANT on Friday. I'll be up. Can't wait. And we'll hopefully have a good week. Don't forget Mounting Yard next Saturday. I'm a little bit on fire. I'm finding, even the horses I'm finding that don't win, like, they're running good odds. I'm not scared to put a 20-to-1 chance on top, because if the parade's best, I'll put it on time.
And this Friday is actually the anniversary show of the Racing RANT. We did the first show, the preview show for Missile Stakes Day at Randwick, where Deanne Pena won the Jockeys Challenge.
We tipped her a bit that day, didn't we?
Lie direct on, she rode 3 winners.
Is that we're 1 year with the RANT now?
That's 1 year.
Well, that's it. We've got to have a party.
I'm fucking not having any parties. I'm not doing any parties.
I just love seeing you uncomfortable.
I'm going to go to Lismore and say hello to people. I'll hate every minute of it. I'll be right.
You'll be right.
I was going to come up the night before because I was going to get the 5:45 flight, but now you're going to be at the aircraft 2 hours before or something, don't you?
Do you?
I think so. It's going to be a little bit.
That'll be
I've heard
bullshit.
nothing.
Yeah,
I know nothing.
You've got to watch the news a little bit, Mark. Keep up. See you next week.
All right, so we'll see you on Friday. Catch
See you guys.